I want to know if these flagship phones really have the best cameras out there, or if last year's model or even a budget phone is just as good. So today I'm testing the Samsung S24 Ultra, the S25 Ultra, the Nothing Phone 3A Pro and the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 dedicated vlog camera. So we're going somewhere where I can walk a lot, where there are lots of different colors to see, different scenes, and lots of fast-moving objects to cover. I'm talking, of course, about the zoo. So come on, let's test these babies out. I have footage here from two cameras. One is the S25 Ultra, the more expensive option, and the other the Nothing Phone 3A Pro, a little more budget friendly. Now, which is the footage from the S25 Ultra, do you think? Type in left or right in the comments right now so we can get an idea of what you guys think. Now, the S25 Ultra is the one on the right, but the one I prefer here is the one on the left. It's from the modestly priced Nothing Phone 3A Pro. So getting the wrong phone might cost you a lot, although each has their own strengths and weaknesses. I've asked a lot of people and some prefer the S25 Ultra footage and others the Nothing Phone 3A Pro. But that goes to show you that taste isn't always expensive. I'm going to compare the cameras from these four devices side by side. Now, I've tested a lot of phone cameras over the years, so I know what to look for in theory, but I've never attached them to like a whole rig like this, so I really can look at the footage simultaneously. I've spent the last 10 hours going through the footage to give you a couple of great examples, so you don't have to spend hours watching separate reviews to see which is objectively better instead of subjectively hyped, starting with Monkey Island. The 3A Pro is perhaps a little overly bright at times. The detail on the dark tree on the S24 Ultra is a lot better. The S25 Ultra overcompensates a bit on the dark, it seems. Overall, it's a lot darker, but more true to life, I have to give it that. DJI also has that S24 level of detail on the dark tree and handles the light difference pretty well, with of course that floaty feel from the gimbal, which gives it a whole other vibe. It also handles going from dark to light a little faster. I saw the same difference in dark to light with this van inside. Very cool footage from the DJI. The S24 has some more lens flare, so that's kind of a preference thing, I guess, but overall very good. Overall, the footage from the DJI is a lot less shaky than the phones, so if you're gonna be moving around a lot, this makes a huge difference. And again, the S25 is really dark. It's hard to make out what you're looking at here. This is a known issue with the S25 line, not just the S25 Ultra. I'll talk a little bit more about the differences between the S24 and the S25 Ultra at the end of the video. Let's go to the polar bears to see more of this. Outside, the S25 does a little better. It's still a little darker than the S24 though. I almost prefer the 3A Pro here, although it's a little unnaturally bright at some points, like the polar bear fur. Here I think the DJI and S24 Ultra have a nice combination of brightness and natural look, but I don't hate the 3A Pro at all. Moving on to the penguin enclosure. I love the way how the 3A Pro handles going from the dark water to the sunny top, and it really has a shine on the water, something only the DJI also has. And even though the S25 is dark, the level of detail with the penguins on the water is just astounding. So they clearly did something to the processing to make this choice of detail over brightness. Sometimes that is the right choice, like here with these long-tail monkeys, it finally did a decent job. I like the greens in the leaves from the S25 Ultra, and here with this owl, it has a nice contrast and again those deep colors in the leaves. It's just that I don't like it in most cases. It's dark, it's gloomy, and it doesn't represent the fun we had at the zoo. Imagine going through your footage of birthday parties and the fun you had and just having a feeling of gloom. You can see it here with this heron that was on the water, and again when it was really close. It only did well when it was really sunny out, like here with these bears compared to the S24 Ultra. It gives off these sunny, saturated colors that could really grow on you. And I think none of the cameras had any problems tracking fast-moving objects, like here with the running bears and wolves. I don't know exactly what they were doing, but it seems they were all playing together. And I also saw that with the red panda here, where it's running, no ghosting or any other artifacts, so that's what you get when buying any of these phones. But the DJI with its gimbal adds this smoothness. This is where the DJI really shines. That cinematic footage of moving along leaves and tree trunks, but also things like people in a shot, of course. That's something you just don't get from using only phones without a gimbal. And I think overall the video footage of the DJI is just of superior quality, even compared to the S25 Ultra flagship. And of course you can set it to tracking and it follows you around. A pretty cool feature, so it's a little easier to film yourself vlog style than just holding a phone. And then let's look at photo quality real quick. Look at these photos, for example. The DJI one looks okay, right? I think it really does look okay for photos. But this is the maximum amount that you can zoom in. You only get 2x zoom. So it's okay if you're close, but with the others you can zoom in quite a bit. I think the 3A Pro also really holds its own here at this kind of zoom level, which is about the maximum that you're probably going to use in real world situations. I like the detail, I like the colors, and it really doesn't underdeliver compared to the S25 Ultra. Then with the S24 and S25 Ultra you can zoom in even further, but you're probably not going to use it that often, and it's really hard to take a good photo with that amount of zoom. Here's another example with an elephant photo. I actually prefer the 3A Pro here, and then you can zoom in even further with the S24 and S25 Ultra, but this is pretty useless in my opinion. I've never used that daily driving either of these for months, but you do pay for it though, every day. If zoom's your thing, then one of these flagship models might be for you, but I'd still buy the S24 Ultra instead of the S25 and get the same cameras but with better image processing most of the time. But if video is your thing, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is currently unbeatable. And you can flip it open and immediately start shooting. Try doing that with your phone. It's impossible. And remember, you can buy a Nothing Phone 3A Pro and the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for the price of just the S25 Ultra. Where I think the 3A Pro did the best job is capturing these windy leaves. It flows and isn't oversaturated. And here the 3A Pro is the only phone you get this cool lens flare with every once in a while. And the colors are bright and happy, almost more of a stylistic choice that makes footage a little more interesting in a way that sometimes really works. And if you're still wondering about the other reasons you might want to buy a flagship phone for, or not, watch this video where I compare the S25 Ultra to the Nothing Phone 3A Pro on all fronts. It's a real cool video with a lot of revelations, so go click on it.